So, what if I told you that the real secret to making consistent money in the markets has almost nothing to do with the charts? It's true. While most traders are out there chasing the next magic strategy, the absolute elite, well, they're playing a completely different game. Today, we're going to decode their mental framework.
And this right here, this is the core idea that changes everything. It means you stop trying to predict or outsmart the market and you start the real work of mastering yourself. The battlefield isn't on your screen, it's right between your ears.
This one little number explains pretty much everything. While 99% of traders are lost in a sea of indicators and chasing headlines, the top 1% are focused on the one thing that actually matters, their own psychology. They're literally playing a different sport.
Okay, so here's our roadmap to building that elite mindset. First, we're going to identify the real enemy. Then, we'll navigate the emotional traps that get everyone. After that, we'll forge the discipline you need, build a fortress around your capital, and finally, approach your very next trade with a totally new perspective.
So let's unmask this enemy, shall we? You're not fighting against some hedge fund titan or a super fast algorithm. Nope. You are fighting against your own primal instincts. That little voice of fear, the rush of greed, the whisper of hope that hijack your rational brain at the absolute worst possible moments.
And how does this enemy attack? Well, it uses two very simple but devastatingly effective weapons: fear and greed. I'm willing to bet these two emotions have destroyed more trading accounts than any market crash in history. Just look at this. It's like a perfect destructive storm. Greed whispers in your ear to just hold on to that losing trade a little longer, hoping for that miracle comeback. Then fear screams at you to get out of a winning trade way too early, leaving a ton of profit on the table. One is driven by blind hope, the other by pure terror. But you know what? The result is exactly the same. They systematically drain your account.
So, how do you possibly win this fight? It's simple. You fire your emotional brain from the job. Before you even get into a trade, you use your calm, logical brain to decide exactly when you'll get out. You use tools like stop losses and take profits. You make the hard decision when you're rational, so your emotional self can't jump in and sabotage the whole thing later.
And this brings us right to our next pillar, discipline. Now please don't think of this as some kind of punishment or a cage. In trading, discipline is the key that unlocks your freedom. It's freedom from fear, freedom from those impulsive mistakes, and the freedom to act with total clarity when everyone else is panicking.
There's a huge myth out there that traps almost every new trader. They chase this fantasy of never having a losing day. Let me be clear, that is not consistency. That's an illusion. The best traders on the planet have losing days. They have losing weeks. What separates them is something else entirely. Real consistency isn't about your results. It's about your actions. It means you have the discipline to follow your plan, your entry rules, your exit rules, your risk management flawlessly on every single trade. The market is going to do what it's going to do. That's outside your control. But your execution, that is the only part you can and absolutely must control. This is it. This is your roadmap to staying stable. And your plan? It's not just the set of guidelines. It's your personal law. Step 1. Define the exact setup you're looking for. Step 2. Automate your exit so you can't second-guess it. And step 3, follow the system. No matter what, no exceptions, no negotiations with yourself.
Okay, this brings us to our next point, and honestly, it might be the most important. This is the foundation for everything else, protecting your capital. Because without capital, you are out of the game. It is that simple.
This right here is a critical mental shift you have to make. Your trading account isn't a lottery ticket. It's not play money. It's the inventory for your business. And your number one job as the CEO of your trading business isn't to chase profits. It's to protect your core asset. Because you can't have growth without preservation first.
You have to burn this quote into your brain. A loss is not a reflection of you. It is not a personal failure. It is simply a business expense, like paying for electricity or rent. It's the cost of finding opportunities. The second you can separate your ego from your equity curve, you can finally start trading like a professional. So let's put all these pieces together. Taming emotion, forging discipline, and protecting your capital. These aren't just separate tactics you pull out of a hat. They are the three pillars of a single, powerful mental framework that the pros rely on every single day.
Here it is. This is the blueprint for an elite trader's mind. You cage your emotions with a logical, predefined system. You build discipline by obsessing over your process, not your profits. And you shield your capital with unbreakable rules. Each pillar supports the others, making the whole structure stronger. And here is the ultimate truth of it all. At the end of the day, we're all looking at the same charts. We all have access to the same strategies. The final edge, the one thing that separates the winners from the crowd, it's not technical. It is 100% psychological. Winning in the market is an inside game.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought. Before you place your next trade, remember that the real battle isn't with the market, it's with that person staring back at you from the screen. The market, that's just the arena. The real opponent is you. The only question is, are you ready?